especially tonight, because it is cook up and time-saving kitchen strategies. And first of all, I wanted to just address that mum life is hard, and cooking and food prepping for the family and for yourself is hard. And then we're fit mamas, or we want to be fit mamas, so we care about our health. We want to eat and we want to train for overall health. So then that throws in another challenge in itself. So we can't spend all the time in the gym, and probably from all the information that you have heard, that the eating healthy is just as important as training. But we can't spend all our time in the gym because we've got other things to do. We've got washing to do. We've got errands to run, and so if we can focus on this important, tool, I suppose, or strategies, then we can get our overall health that we're looking for not just us, but for our family as well. So if we can help you tonight just with these tips, and you don't have to be perfect at it, and that's the thing about it, is that with us mums, we don't have to be perfect. We can just put some sort of systems in place and be a little bit more organized, and then that way we have more selections of the good choices and less selections of the bad choices. So then when we do decide to make, where we go out for dinner or make those sort of choices, that we've put systems in place that we won't do much damage, and we can still have the health and body that we want. So now,
I guess
in saying that,
from today's post, I wrote a little bit about some kind of situations that you might find yourself in, and those situations might be, you've not eaten all day, you've skipped some meals, and at the end of the day, you're just ravenous. Kids have gone to bed, and you find yourself in the pantry or you're in the fridge. These are what we call just emotional eating choices, and they're the stuff that we need to kind of reduce if there's going to be any chance of transforming your body shape, your health, and your energy levels. It's the choices that you make off a whim that do the most damage. So getting your environment sorted out is really important, and like I said in the post, deleting stuff from the household is never going to go down well unless you replace it with something just as tasty, and something that's going to, be easy to grab, I suppose. So that's what tonight's lesson is all about.
Keeping yourself satisfied and full as well, because then you don't feel like, if you've got something there and you've eaten your meals, then you don't actually feel like grabbing at something. What else can I have? And picking. So tip number 1.
Plan the shop and shop.
Yeah, so very important. When you are planning the shop and shop, we've got shopping lists, we've got online, so it's very convenient now. I remember my mum doing the online shopping on her way home from a holiday trip, and so all they had to do was I picked them up from the airport and they came home and their online shopping was delivered.
It's really cool. I haven't actually utilized this, but if you go onto online shopping and select your shopping for the week, if there's not much to be changed, you can pretty much just click and collect. It's as simple as that. So you don't have to write your shopping list out every week.
Yeah.
So that's a cool hack, a technological.
So plan your shop and shop. We've given you some recipes to start off with in this, and we're going to be posting more throughout the e-course. So get your shopping list done with those meals that you plan to cook.
So I'd choose maybe 2 or 3 of those recipes.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Get all of the ingredients needed, put it on a list of shopping, and go and grab those ingredients so that you can cook up those 2 or 3 recipes on the weekend.
And then the next key thing is to block out that time, that as soon as you get the shopping in, I know mamas with little babies especially use this online hack, and then you get the delivery in and you can chop everything up as soon as it gets home. Like
That's
either it gets
important.
delivered or you've brought it home.
How many times have we found a fluffy looking furry broccoli
Yeah.
at the bottom of the crisper. Or,
And I mean, that's just the norm in life. But if you want to get better, this is the secret to not wasting food. You know, in Western society, we're extremely lucky that we have food available to us, and we buy it with the goodest of intentions, and then it gets, you know, just shoved in the crisper. Hey Simone.
Hey Simone.
So yeah, it gets shoved in the crisper, and then it gets all moldy and furry. So the best thing to do is chop it all up, and in those containers, I've actually still got them sitting. Like how lazy am I? I've still got them sitting here from last night's talk. So chop them up in those medium size containers, and do the cooking.
Yeah, so you could look. We're realistic. You're not going to go and put 3 or 4 hours away.
No.
Straight off the bat. When you start to develop these habits, you're probably going to start small. So if you just start with shopping, bringing the food home or having it delivered to you, and then just chopping the main ingredients, when you do go to cook, then you can grab your already chopped veggies.
The prepping time is
and
less.
the prepping time is so much less, which means you can actually cook more.
Which brings us to our next tip is cook for more than one. So this is a huge thing that I say to mums, because we're extremely time poor, and we think that we don't have time to actually prep and be organised for the food for the whole week. So when you are in the kitchen, make use of that time and be time efficient. So, you know, us women, we are awesome at multitasking. Whether, you know, I heard Paul Cribb say that we can't multitask, that a lot of us can't multitask.
He wasn't talking about women specifically.
He was saying people.
People.
People. I disagree with that, because us women are amazing at multitasking and thinking about what the next step is. So never go into the kitchen to cook just one meal. So when you go in there, you will cook for more than one. So say you're cooking the dinner, then you will put all those chopped vegetables and your meat and everything like that, put it in the slow cooker while cooking dinner. Double the recipes.
Yeah.
You want to go on to the next one?
Yeah. So double your recipes. Don't go in there and, you know, if you've got a family of 3 kids and hubby and you...
Because even we've got Simone here that's got 4 kids.
Yeah, 4 kids. Like if you guys are cooking for a family, one of those recipes is going to do you for the night. And then you're going to have to put the exact same amount of time in again tomorrow night to get the food done. And that will never last. That kind of routine will never last. So when you go into the kitchen, if you're just starting out with this sort of stuff, you could go and cook on a Monday night and cook enough up for Monday and Tuesday night, and maybe even some lunches. So doubling and tripling recipes doesn't necessarily make the recipe take any longer. You're standing at the stove, so you may as well utilize the time. Double and triple your recipes. And as Megan said, you know, if you can use multiple appliances at the same time, I know we'll have the oven going, 2 fry pans going, and a slow cooker,
and a slow cooker.
going at the same time, or 2 slow cookers, depending on what we're cooking. But we're utilising the whole kitchen rather than just going in there and, you know, cooking up a small pan of food and then hopefully it does the family. You want to think of this as a mass production line and be as efficient as possible, so you get the most from your time that you're spending in the kitchen. Hey Debbie.
Hey Debbie.
Kristen's just said she loves cutting her chicken up before putting it in the freezer. One less thing to do.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the same principle, but apply that to every part of your eating.
So when you're making a chicken recipe now, like there's you know, chicken casseroles and things like that, you can chop it all up and put it straight into the slow cooker, and then, you know, it can be cooking while you're sleeping.
Alicia says she loves the CK salad.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Speaking like a true, you've done an MP before.
The CK salad is really easy, really tasty. And then, so store in the meal size containers. So like we said before, we did say get the oven going, like if you're cooking frittata. A big thing, mums, is what and this has taken me a few years to realise, is that I was cooking the 3-minute omelette every morning, and I didn't mind doing it, but I found out a much better way of doing it is making a frittata. So then I'm cooking 4. So then every morning I just have to reheat them, and then my food is done. And then while I'm eating my food, like I've already made breakfast, and then I'm on to, while I'm eating my food, I'm then on to packing lunches. So we can get all this done while, you know, multitasking.
While we're there, I think it's worth noting that success is never linear. So it's not as if you're going to start this food prepping habit and go awesomely and always head in that direction. So Megan, you know, and even myself and our whole household has gone through peaks and troughs. So sometimes we're super motivated and, you know, we're making frittatas,
super organized.
you know, we're portioning out our meals, and sometimes, you know, things like the aircon blow up and we just don't have the brain space to even think about portioning out meals,
getting it all
right. So
yeah, like even this week when I cooked up the frittata at one stage, I just like there was one piece missing because I needed to eat it.
Yeah.
Then there was like the other 3 pieces
you have to get
shoved
your
in
mum from the airport.
Yeah, because I had to get mum from the airport.
The whole prep done.
There was other things that got in the way, so that was just shoved in the fridge. And I wanted to take a picture just to say, hey, sometimes we got our shit together and sometimes we don't have our shit together.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a process. Natty has just joined again, so maybe Ollie has played the game. So yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Our recommendation would just be starting that whole dinner thing.
Yeah.
So when you're in the kitchen cooking dinner, you could be also putting a slow cooker on for the next couple of nights, or whatever dinner you make it so it can last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or just Monday, Tuesday, and then have the slow cooker on for Wednesday, Thursday. Hi. So that's what I would start and once you've got that habit, you know, underway, it becomes actions without thought, which we talk about all the time.
So these are the things that I suppose this is a real foundation principle for people who do end up working with us, is that we don't expect perfection.
No, not at all, because we want it to stay.
What we need is progress, don't we?
Yeah. Progression, not perfection.
So if you go from, you know, there's a book called Less is More, or The Power of Less, something like that. I think
it's The Power of Less.
The whole notion is that if you've got these big tasks that you procrastinate on, what you need to do is you need to break it down to the smallest, tiniest piece of the puzzle and complete that smallest task first, because the way the human brain works is it works off positive reinforcement. And if you are always trying to tackle these huge gargantuan tasks and you constantly you know, get into the whole rhythm of things and then you fail, you'll tell yourself the story that you're a failure.
Yeah, but that's not working.
No,
it's not working for me.
Yeah, but where if you can break this whole thing down as small as you can, look at your current habits. And this is why we don't get our clients to follow anything. We always ask them what they're doing so we can actually see what they're doing.
And then improve from there.
So we want to know what you guys are doing rather than trying to set some unachievable goal for you.
Yeah.
So the importance is to look at what you're doing and look at your current habits. And if you're like my mum, who used to cook every single night of the week, how much would it change your life if you just wiped out half of those nights? If you could say to yourself, right, I'm not going to cook tomorrow night. I'm going to cook everything tonight and it's going to be there for tomorrow night. Okay, and then you do that Wednesday night. And then you do that Friday night. And then all of a sudden you're not cooking on weekends anymore. You're not running out and getting takeout anymore. And just that small change, you don't have to get anything else right. Just that small change will start to get the cogs spinning and your body shape will start changing and all of that good stuff will happen. The positive reinforcement will
It's like a domino effect.
Domino effect.
Yeah, isn't it? And it makes you feel more satisfied, more energetic, and you move forward into that direction rather than going backwards.
Yeah.
So Alicia said, I love how you guys keep it real. Awesome. Thank you so much for that feedback, because I was going to say, like, guys, mamas, if this is making sense to you, like, please let us know. If it's not,
if you're watching the replay, also please let us know, because we don't want you guys sit back thinking, oh, this is too much.
And it is real, and it is we want to be real, and it is real life. Like, we have a family and kids, you know, get crazy. One, I think she wanted to be on the screen tonight. She kept poking me.
Was she poking you?
She was poking me. She was like,
but she was clapping her foot before. She was like that.
Yeah, so life doesn't always go as planned, but yeah, if we can control the controllable sometimes and do the best that we can. So we won't keep you any longer. It is Friday night, mums, you know, relax.
Thanks for joining us.